Well, hello and welcome to another edition of the Stogie Review Short Ashes. I am Walt White, and well, once again, I am back this week with another Short Ashes review. If you're not familiar with these, basically what they are a condensed version of my long, drawn-out review. So expect this video to last roughly around 12 to 15 minutes, and you know, I'll try to briefly go over each third of the cigar and see how it goes. The cigar I have for you this week is one that is probably obsolete at this point, and you probably can't even see the band because of the lighting. This is the Nestor Miranda Special Selection, and this is not the one that's made by Don Pepin Garcia. Now, this particular cigar was one that I got while in Las Vegas with Brian and Jerry. Brian and I got a chance to talk to Nestor Miranda for a little while of Miami Cigar Company. Brian actually did a video of that interview, and as we were leaving, Nestor handed us some cigars, and he said that these were the new ones that were coming out, and the Lancero size was the unveiling at the show, or one of them. So that cigar got tossed right in my cooler, and I just kind of let it sit, and I really didn't bother with it, for one, because I wanted to give it time to come back from being in the desert, and two, because I just wasn't very impressed with the first one I had. I think it was a Robusto, or the first couple of Nestor Miranda special selections I had, and I just keep hearing good things about the Lancero. You know, this suits the blend a lot more. This is much nicer smoke. You know, on and on and on. So here I am doing another Short Ashes with my one and only Nestor Miranda special selection Lancero. So let's get things underway. I'm not aware of, or I'm not sure of the size. It's typical Lancero format, probably about 7 inches long, 40 ring gauge or smaller. The color looks pretty consistent on it. This is a new setup. Pardon the lighting. I'm not going to be able to get you in close to show you what's going on because there's no light directly in front of the camera. So just bear with me for this one. Color looks pretty consistent. The spiral that goes up the cigar, just the turnings of the leaf, they're very apparent. There's a little bit of color variation from, say, this wrap to this wrap to this wrap, but it's not really bad. It seems pretty minor, and if it weren't for that hard line, you probably wouldn't be able to distinguish it very well. There are a handful of medium-sized veins throughout, just handling a little bit. It adds a little bit of a lumpy texture to it, but not too bad. Giving it a little pinch, sort of rolling it in my hand. The cigar feels nicely packed. I'm not getting any soft spots. I'm not hearing any cracking, so that's good. So it should smoke pretty well. It's sort of got like a neutral aroma to it, no real smell, or no real distinguishable smell, I should say. I went ahead and clipped the pigtail cap, and the draw's a little stiff, just like I would have expected from Lancero, something this thin. So let's get it lit and see what happens. Now, Lanceros can be a tricky cigar to roll because they're so thin. Sometimes the tobacco inside, the filler, can get a twist in it, which ultimately makes a plug cigar and one that's not enjoyable to smoke at all. So we're going to hope that this one smokes well and we don't have any problems with it. So now that all the particulars are taken care of up front, I'm going to get started on my Nestor Miranda Special Selection Maduro, and I'll be right back. Well, welcome back. I got my cigar, my Nestor Miranda Special Selection, lit, and so far it is doing pretty well. I haven't gotten very far into the cigar at all. I'm running into a little bit of a problem. I can't keep it lit. You know, I constantly have to keep it in my hand, and I seem to be puffing on it constantly in order to keep it producing smoke. If I set it down in the ashtray and just forget about it for 30 to 45 seconds, you know, I've got to touch it up. It's just, it's requiring a lot of attention. The body is about medium. The finish is smooth. There's a little bit of a spiciness to it that comes out especially through the back end, through the sinuses. And the flavor is great. This cigar it's got a sort of an earthy tone to it, and the spices are what's impressing me most. That's what I'm getting the most enjoyment out of, this very nice spiciness that's coming through the sinuses. It's a little bit of a tingling sensation, a little bit of black pepper sort of aroma, and sort of a generic spice, I guess is the best way to put it. I can't really put a finger on what it is, but there's just an intricate spiciness going on, which I'm enjoying. Now, I'm really surprised because I didn't really care for the larger ring gauge size, and this one is really surprising me. And you know, the only downside is that Don Pepin Garcia is going to be making these cigars, or he should be by now, and actually they should be in distribution by now, which makes this one kind of obsolete. Now, I'm not saying it's kind of a downside, because he makes some fantastic product. I don't have anything against the guy, but I liked him better when he wasn't doing quite so much. Now he's doing lots of product for Ashton, Cigars International, the Nestor Miranda now, and there's just his own stuff, and there's just a lot going on. And my concern is that you're going to start to see a drop off in quality, you know, in exchange for all this ramped up production. Now, granted, that's just my assumption, but I'm just afraid that some of his product are going to start slipping. And I really like this cigar, I really like this cigar so far. So if it's, I don't know, I'm enjoying this cigar, and I don't especially want to try the Pepin cigar because I'm afraid it's not going to be as good as this one. The Robusto, however, I think if I try that one, I'm going to like the Pepin blend better. It's not to say that the Lancero format of the Pepin blend is not going to be as good as this one. I'm just enjoying this one quite a bit, and it's a little bit of a downer that it's not available. You know, you're gonna have to buy up old stock. The draw is a little stiff. The burn line is it's a little out of line. You can see it's kind of, well, you probably can't see, too dark, but it's got quite a bit of an angle going on, and ash is pretty compact. It's pretty firm. Takes a little bit of force to knock it off the cigar, and the burn rate, I don't know. It seems elevated just because I'm puffing on it constantly to make sure it's burning. I don't know whether it's just not burning right because it's a little overfilled because the draw is stiff, or if there's just a lot of Lancero in here, and as a result the Lancero just burns slower and it just can't keep up. So don't really know for sure, but I am enjoying it. So sit tight. I'm going to smoke some more of my Nestor Miranda special selection. I'll be back and dive into the second third and see if I'm enjoying it as much as oh, by the way, the cigar, it was just so nice. I was drinking it with water, and I was enjoying the spiciness so much that I decided to go grab a little bit of Gentleman Jack, and so far it's going very well with the cigar. I'm very happy with the combination and the way the bourbon complements the cigar. So all is going very well. So now that I sound like a complete broken record, I'll be back. We'll look at the second third and see if I like it nearly as much as I have the first third. So sit tight. Well, welcome back. I'm about halfway through my Nestor Miranda special selection, Lancero. And I'm actually going back and forth a little bit with Carlos from New Jersey on Twitter about the band design of the new blend. And I hadn't seen the new Pepin blend band, and he wasn't sure whether or what the old band looked like. So I posted a picture of my old review. He showed me a picture of what appears to be an ad for the Pepin blend, and the band appears to be the same. Now, the kind of annoying thing here is a cigar shop like the one I go to, Kensington Tobacconist, they're slow to move product. So the box of Nestor Miranda special selections that he has may be there for a month, maybe a month and a half, before he rotates out of his current stock. So if I were to go in there tomorrow, I have no idea if I'm getting the STC Cigars blend or the Pepin blend. So that's kind of an irritant to know that there's a chance that I could walk into any cigar shop at any point in time and look at the band and not know whether this is the old blend or the new blend. Now, that's not to say that the new blend's not going to be better, but if you're looking for one or the other, it's going to be difficult to tell. Now, I don't know if that ad was correct or what the case really is, but I don't know. I'm really enjoying this cigar. The draw is getting to be a little bit of a pain. It's stiff. I'm not getting a whole lot of smoke. I need to touch it up every now and again so that I can keep that smoke flowing. I feel like I'm smoking it fast. It's beginning to get a little hot on the tip of my tongue every now and then. But you know, I'm really enjoying the flavor. The body is medium. The finish is smooth. There's no harshness. It's got a lot of depth. I'm still getting pepper flavor, this varying spice flavor, the spicy feeling through the sinuses. Everything is just smooth and refined, and I'm really enjoying it. And there's a nice sort of an earthy tone to the cigar. All in all, you know, I'm really enjoying it, but I really have to fight to keep the cigar burning, to keep getting that flavorful smoke. It's a lot of work. If the Robusto tasted as good as this one does, I'd be smoking these things fairly regularly. But I don't care for the Robusto. I don't know whether if it's just too much filler or what, but I really like this Lancero, and now I have no idea which one I'm going to be buying the next time I walk into a cigar shop. I guess I'll just have to ask when they got their shipment, and do they know, is it the new blend or the old blend, and where do we go from there? Aside from the really stiff draw, I'm not having too much problem as far as the burn line is concerned. It's not quite as much of a 45 anymore. It's fairly leveled off. The burn line's a little thick in spots. It's not too bad. The ash is pretty compact. It's not flaking or falling or anything undesirable. It holds on for a good length of time before it needs to be knocked off. The burn rate, again, it seems fast only because I'm puffing on the thing constantly. But all in all, it's an enjoyable cigar so far, and it's going very well with the Gentleman Jack. So I'm going to take another break. I'll be right back. I'll do the final third, wrap up the Nestor Miranda Special Selection Lancero, and I'll let you be on your way. So sit tight. Well, hello and welcome back. I am down to the last little bit of my Nestor Miranda Special Selection Lancero. And I really got fed up with the stiff draw. The other day I was smoking a cigar, and it was really tight, and I went digging around for my Henry draw correction tools, and I just happened to have them sitting out. So what I did was basically took this skewer and ran it up through the middle of the cigar, and it alleviated that really stiff draw. But the downside to using this type of correction tool to fix the draw is you wind up making a tunnel through the cigar, and I guess what it does is it insulates all that heat coming through the center of the cigar, or insulates all that smoke, and as a result it just feels a little hotter on the tongue, although it's a lot easier to draw now. So it definitely saved the cigar, although it made it heat up quite a bit faster. So the draw is not terrible now. The smoke volume is much better. Body is medium, maybe medium to full. If at best it's medium to full. Finish is very clean. It's smooth. It's mildly creamy. Flavors are just the same as they were before. I'm getting some earthy tones, nice flavors of black pepper, some various forms of spice. Getting a nice tingling sensation through the nose with some spice that carries through. I'm really enjoying the flavor combination of the cigar. Burn line, it's still a little thick in spots. Little wavy, but it's much better than it was earlier on. The amount of resting smoke coming off the cigar is about average. The smoke time, there's the burn rate, it seems a little fast. Again, you know, I was really pulling on the cigar to keep it lit, and even with the draw poker through the cigar, I'm still needing to keep an eye on it just to make sure it doesn't go out. So in a nutshell, I really enjoyed this cigar much more than I did the Robusto. And you know, as I mentioned earlier, I was talking to Carlos and Jerry on Twitter about the band of the Nestor Miranda Special Selection, and how we really have no idea which one we're getting. And I'm pretty sure that my local shop has some more of the original Lanceros left. And if that's the case, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a few. Just because I really enjoyed this. I'd be interested in trying the new Pepin blend when it comes out, or when it's available at my local shop. From what I understand, if you got in on the cigar bid auction that was not too long ago, you got the new Pepin blend. And if you're ordering them online, most likely you're getting the new Pepin blend. Again, my shop has a little bit of a lag in when the new shipments come in, just because it's a smaller shop in a much slower area. So I enjoyed the cigar much more than the Robusto, and I'm looking forward to trying some more. I'm not sure whether this is the Rosado or the Maduro, because it wasn't branded one way or the other. My local shop doesn't have it branded one way or the other. I just know that it's available in a natural and a Maduro, the natural being the Rosado wrapper. That's about it, really. I can't think of anything else I want to mention about the cigar. It was good. The draw was a little bit of a problem, but it typically is with Lanceros. And the draw poker sort of saved the day, although it made the cigar a little hotter than I like it. As far as what's coming up on the Stogie review, Jerry and I have been talking a lot more about Cigar Fest. We're both very excited to go. We are really looking forward to going. If you are planning on going, I would strongly urge you to be ready to buy your ticket when they go on sale on February 2nd. Last year, it didn't take long for Cigars International to sell out. So if you want to go, I would definitely recommend getting over to cigarfest.org, signing up for the mailing list, just to make sure that you're not missing out if they do pre-sales on tickets, or for whatever reason, if they do pre-purchase for a newsletter personnel, people that sign up for the newsletter. You don't want to miss out on that. So if you're going to Cigar Fest, again, drop us a line and we'll see you there. And until next week or next time or whenever I do the next video, happy smoking.